Well guys, this is a video we've been putting together here for a little while, and it's one that's really near and dear to our heart. Safety.
Oh my gosh, every RVer, I don't care what you have, what you drive, what you camp in, what you pull, whatever, you gotta keep safety in mind. We all gotta be safe on the road. So in this video, we're gonna show you 3 things that we have done to our RV to keep us safe as we're traveling.
So stick around.
Hey y'all, welcome back. I'm Stacy.
I'm Tom, and we're RV Texas, y'all.
We are native Texans and full-time RVers who are all about exploring the great state of Texas and beyond, one campground at a time. We're on a mission to experience life, not just live it, and we're bringing you along for the fun.
In 2018, we sold our house, our business, and got rid of most everything we owned to hit the road and see America. Our home is a 33-foot RV named Freedom. We installed an extreme solar and lithium setup, so now we can just about live anywhere with our dog Star and our cat Astro.
Every day is a new adventure, so join us as we RV America, y'all.
Yeah, we're here at NIRVC Dallas, the Dallas location, and we're getting our retro bands put in, and yeah, this is pretty cool. These are the retro bands right here. And they put them on the front wheels. You know, this is a safety thing in case you ever have a blowout on the front steering axle, one of those 2 tires. The retro bands help keep you on the road, you know, and keep you under control. You can actually drive on them for a little while, so you can get off the road, so you can get help and get the tire changed. But these, if it happens on the road, they'll be able to take them off, and just, you know, you might want to just get a tire put on there and then get to another NIRVC location where they can put the bands back on. But hopefully that never happens. You know, hopefully this is just a thing that you never have to utilize. You know, it's like insurance. And you know, one of the most fatal things about RVs, or diesel pushers, or even gas A's, is if you have a front wheel blowout, you know, because that could be a bad crash, and we don't want that, you know. And so I think as a safety item, they're one of the best things you can get with a big rig, just so you can be under control if that happens. And that's why we're getting them. Now they will be able to, like on the road, they could just take those bands off and put a new tire on and just get to a dealer, get to y'all.
Yeah, they should be able to. I mean, it just takes basic hand tools to get it off.
Okay, good. Because we had a different type of these things with our Breeze, but it took special tools to put them on and off. And so we had to carry a big tool set just in case we did have a blowout. But in this case, like you said, it just takes basic tools to take it off and then get a new tire put on your rim. And like I said, then you could just go to any NIRVC location and they could put the retro band back on your wheel with your new tire. So as you're going to see in this video, we're going to put the tire minder system on, and it's as much for the Toad as this. We do have tire sensors that are built into the Freightliner chassis and the wheels, and I asked Eric, you know, are those sensors still going to work once they put these retro bands on? And he said absolutely. The sensors will still be in there. They'll still work. That's part of the process of them doing it the right way to make sure those sensors still work. So if you're just relying on your sensors from the Freightliner chassis, that should be no problem with getting the retrobands. We, however, we're going to go the next step, and we're going to go ahead and put a monitoring system on that go on the valve stems and stuff, so we can also include the toad, and we can adjust our pressures, and we're going to show you that next in this video. And of course, when they get done, they're going to balance the tires, and so, you know, they're going to be rebalanced and everything else. So we're going to be in great shape when we leave here for sure. So when they get done putting on the retrobands, they'll put a sticker on here so you can, and it even says on there, peace of mind. And boy, it is peace of mind knowing that if I do have a blowout, that I'll have the protection with the retroband to hopefully safely be able to get off the road and RV another day. So when they do, after they put them in, they put the sticker on each one. So also, if you take your wheels to a shop to get new tires or whatever, they're going to know exactly what it is that's in there before they're even dealing with it. So yeah, that's pretty good. We're happy to have them. Now we're going to go on to the tire minder, and want to talk to you about the tire minder, which is another thing that we have had forever. I mean, on every RV we've ever had, we've had tire minder, and I mean, we've already heard of a couple things that have happened very recently. One of our neighbors just right behind us here that had a blowout on the way here. He didn't even know it. He was in a rainstorm, and so it did a lot of damage by the time he found out. He was in a travel trailer. And then another friend that's not here yet and is going to be delayed over a week because he had a blowout on his towed vehicle. He was in a Class A like us, and his car had a blowout in the back. He didn't know it until somebody honked at him and got him to pull over, and he had a lot of damage to his car, and now no telling when he's going to get here because there's a lot of damage on his car, and they had to tow it to a place, and hopefully it gets fixed soon so he can get here for the winter. So we're going to show you this tire minder, and this is another majorly peace of mind, and hopefully can save you from a lot of damage if you're starting to get a leak or have a blowout. Okay, so now on to the tire minder system, and I want to thank Michael from Innovation Tire. Sent us this, and you know, he contacted us, and we were just at that time we were looking into getting our a system, which we knew we needed it because we do have a system in the coach that came in the tires, just kind of like the Jeep does, you know, some of the newer vehicles that have them inside and monitor your tire pressure, but you can't change the ones on the motorhome. So they are set to the pressure that they preset them to, so you can't change those. Well, you can, but it's very difficult. You got to send off and get a part that comes to you. They have to take all the wheels off, adjust it, and you have to send that part back. I don't think anybody's ever going to do that. Also, the same thing with the Jeep. We looked into getting them on the Jeep to get in the system that would work with this system, and same thing. They have to send you the bands that then you have to take it to a shop, have them take all your wheels off, put the bands on, adjust the tire pressure. I mean, that is crazy. This is a lot easier. The tire minder system, and you know, again, I said we've had it forever. This is what's kept us safe, or at least feeling a lot safer when we're on the road. And I think our friends that had that problem, they both would have saved a lot of damage had they had one of these systems, because they would have been alerted. Not that it would have maybe prevented the blowout, but they would have known right when it happened. And neither one of them knew when it happened, so they got a lot more damage because of that. So I just want to show you real quick. With this particular system, it comes with a real big monitor, and right here it's just a piece of paper on there. And we're going to show you more about this in just a minute. And in this package too comes, you can see these are what you put on your valve stems, and we're going to show you that in just a minute. But they give you, you've got to get enough for each one of your tires. We have let's say we have 6 tires on the RV, and then we have 4 tires on the Jeep, so we need 10. So we got it with 10 sensors. So when you're ordering your kit, make sure you order enough sensors, because some kits come with a certain amount, so you may have to order an extra sensor or 2. Obviously it comes with like an instruction manual on how to set it up, and then the kit comes with batteries. So before you start it, you're going to have to put batteries in it. We're going to do that real quick. And it also has a booster. Now this booster is very important, because not only does it boost the signal to make sure, you know, you're communicating, but it also unscrambles things too. So that you want that. That's very important. They said that's the very first thing you put in. You get a thing to help you put it on the windshield or whatever you want to do. And the charging thing, so you can charge your, you know, your reader. So we're going to quickly take you through and show you setting up one tire. And you, with these two, you set up the pressures. It's really important to go get a 4-corner weigh if you can, like we did, and know your weights. When you know your weights, you can go to the manufacturer of your tire, go to their website, and find out with that particular weight on that tire or that axle what the pressure of your tires should be. So then you can hone in on exactly what your pressure should be. And ours is 110. So we're gonna set our system up for 110. And right now, as we put it on, it may not be at 110, but when we put our system on, we're gonna put it on right now. We're gonna set it up for 110. And when we're about to leave, and again, always do this with cold tires. Don't do this after you've been driving all day. You have to do this at the beginning of the day when you have cold tires and before you take off. So before we take off on our next adventure, we will check all of our tire pressures, get everything to 110, and whatever. I'm not sure what we're going to set the Jeep at yet. We got to see what those pressures are, but we'll make sure the Jeep tires are set to the proper pressure also before we take off. So now let's set it up real quick. Stacy's going to show you how to set this thing up, because she's the one that handles this in the car, you know, as I'm driving, or in the RV, because as I'm driving, she always monitors the tire pressures and stuff. So, you know, kind of split squad there. That helps. But the driver you could put this over on your side if you're a single driver or whatever. You can monitor it. You can have it next to you, because it's going to beep when something goes wrong. So that's the good thing. So, okay, let's get started. Okay, so we installed our booster right here. You can do them at the battery source, or you have to have a 12 or 24 volt source. One of our good friends, he actually hardwired this into his midship bathroom. He had an area in there. So doesn't have to go in the battery bank, but this is the easiest way to install it. So we got it in here. It took me about 5 minutes. But you got to do this first, and then we'll go on to the next thing. Okay, so the next step is you got to put your batteries in. And I put the batteries in every one of these except for the last one. I want to show you how easy it is. They supply these batteries, by the way, and we had enough leftover batteries to even change them all out. So that's awesome. We're set for quite a while. Take it out. The flat side goes up, which is the positive side. You just push it in, screw this back on, and now all of our things are ready to put on our tire stems. So we're gonna go to the next step now.
Okay, so now we're ready to start installing the sensors on the tires. The next thing we're going to do is actually turn on the monitor button at the top, and it's going to come up and it's going to say monitoring. That's what they said it should do, so perfect. And we're going to put it into learning mode so that it can learn where the sensors are, which goes with which. So we're going to hold these, both the up and down button, until it goes into learning mode. Okay, it's in learning, and you see, I don't know if you can tell, but the driver's front tire is flashing. So that's the first sensor we're going to install. So I will take the camera and we'll let Tom.
Okay, so now I have our first sensor. I've already taken the cap off, and I'm going to put it on the stem. Get it on there. And now it's to Stacy.
And let's see if we can see it with the reflection here in the sun, but it is showing 109 on that tire pressure.
Okay, and also on that, you can put a lock nut behind it if you want. They give you those so it'll lock it on there so nobody can take it off, unless they have the special wrench. Right now we're not going to put those on because later on, you know, before we leave, we're going to get all our tire pressures right, and then I might put the nut on there. So it also gives you some extra O-rings that go inside these to make them watertight. So you have extras. They're actually extras. So we're going to do one more to show you. Stacy, you could show what you do here.
Okay. So while we're still in learn, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the down to go to the next tire. Let's see where it wants me to go. Oh, it took me, oh, I'm gonna go up. It's taking me back to the Jeep, so I wanna do all the RV tires first. So I'm back on the driver's front tire. I'm gonna go up. It's taking me to the passenger front tire because we wanna do all of the motorhome first. So let's go over there.
Yeah. Now I'll put that there.
Well, you can't see that anyway.
Okay, I'm taking the valve stem cover off and just simply screw it on. Want to do it kind of quick because you'll hear the air come out, but then it stops. It's on.
Let's see if I can see this in the sun here. It should show up. Boy, this sun's making it tough, but it's flashing. It's reading 113
Okay,
PSI.
good. Okay, so we're going to do the rest of the tires. We're not going to bore you with all that. And we're going to also do the Jeep. So then we have all of our tires monitored. We're going to bring you back and show you what it looks like with them all on there, and Stacy's setting our pressures that we want the tires to be at.
Okay, so we went all the way around the motorhome tires and our Jeep tires, and we put all of the sensors on in the order that it suggested, just by going up each one to the next one. Every sensor registered pretty much right away, so they're all working, and that's fantastic. And if you can see here, we've moved inside, so hopefully you can see all of our pressures are showing up. And we've got room for, if we had additional sensors and additional tires, there's plenty of room to add more. Then we're going to hold the up and down buttons down again to go back into monitoring. And monitoring is going to be what you're going to keep it in most of the time, because that is where, as you're going down the road, it's going to be constantly talking to the sensors and reading the pressures and the temperatures and all of that. our power button's kind of flashing here because we did not charge it up as much as we really needed to before we got started. You got to do that before you start. But now we're going to go into what we need to do to set our baseline pressures, and that is the pressures that we have set based on our weights for each of our tires. So to do that, we're going to hold the circle in, which is the middle button. We're going to go into baseline, and it's going to show us PSI and also Fahrenheit or Celsius. So if we go on the up or down bar, it's going to change the PSI or the bar, barometric pressure being bar, up and down. So if we hit that, the middle button again, it's going to let us change between Fahrenheit and Celsius. And if we hit the middle again, it's going to let us change our baseline PSIs. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to set all of the motorhome at 110. And you just hit the center button each time you change, up and down. And this is telling it what you want the tires to run at for baseline. You just go through and you do that for each of your tires. And on the Jeep, I'm going to set 35 because that's what we're running at right now. And then when we're done with that, we'll be good to go. That is as easy as it is to set up the tire minder system. I don't think it could be easier.
Yeah, and so you can get a discount on this. You have to go to the website, and we're going to give you a coupon code here. The website is innovationtire.com, and when you can get $20 off. It's the only way to get $20 off. If you buy these at a rally from NIRVC when they're there, they'll install them and stuff, but you won't get the $20 discount. If you want to get them right now and get them on your RV right now, you can go to the website, innovationtire.com, and enter the coupon code RVTexas. So RVTEXAS in the coupon code, and it should right then show you $20 off, and you can get it shipped to you today.
And I'll put the link in the description in case you're interested. Yeah, we're totally set up now. I finished everything up, and I just held the circle back in to get back to monitoring mode. So now as we go down the road, it's going to measure constantly not only our tire pressures, but also our temperatures.
Yes.
So that we will be alerted if there are any issues with our tires. Now, obviously, it's not 100% foolproof. Things can happen where maybe you run over something in the road and you lose pressure right away. But at least you're going to know what's going on.
Yeah, but like we said, the two folks that one aren't here yet, the other is here, our neighbor right behind us, they blew out tires and didn't even know it.
Right.
And they're going down the road with a blown out tire on the travel trailer for the one guy that's behind us right now. It was a rainstorm, did a lot of damage before he knew about it. And Tim, the other one, it was his towed car that blew out a tire and just really wrecked up a lot of things. This would tell you right away that's happening. So at least you could get off the road and hopefully minimize the damage.
Exactly. It's all about safety.
Yeah, we totally endorse this product. This is one we totally endorse because
we bought our first tire minder system back in 2013 or 2014.
Yeah.
We've had it on every motorhome that we have owned. I don't know if they made them back when we had our travel trailer, but if we had them back then, we certainly should have had them on our tires. I think every RVer, regardless of what RV you own, should have some type of tire pressure monitoring system because you just don't know what's going on with your tires.
That's for sure. Now on to the fire suppression system.
Oh yeah, wait till you see this.
This is awesome.
Okay, so now that our monitor is ready to go, we are going to charge it up the rest of the way so it will be ready for us when we're ready to use it. And really I suggest, charging it up completely before you do all of your settings and everything, but it worked out. This is pretty cool. This is the charger that they give you. You can plug it into AC or DC, and it comes with the USB cord that you just plug in there, and then you plug the other end into your monitor and it'll charge you up. I like that. Tons of flexibility.
So anytime we try to do these, we want to use zip ties and run it along our wiring.
Okay.
Just because it's just a whole lot easier for if you need to remove it and these wires need to be replaced, it's as easy as clipping it, taking it out, and zipping it right back in. Versus if we modify and screw it back on, or screws, and it's just more work for everybody.
Yeah,
We
that's
wanna
right.
make it easy.
And basically, when you're putting these in, we're putting them in bays that are electrical bays,
That's
or
right.
bays that get hot.
Anywhere electrical power circuit is running, or it's getting power, or where it's getting hot. Absolutely.
Yeah, so you don't have to put them in your bays where you don't have any of that stuff.
That's right.
And it's not a continuous running thing. Each bay can have its own cord, but sometimes you can connect two bays, right, with one,
Yes,
if
sir.
they're open bays.
Like we're gonna do with your inverter and transfer switch.
Okay.
No, Oasis and transfer switch.
Yeah. So
we-
one will take care of two
Yes.
components.
It'll cover both those components, and it cuts down the costs.
Yep. By the way, the man that's been talking to us here is Cordova, and he has been the installer. You're out of the Dallas branch, right?
Sir, Dallas, but we're never there.
Yeah. They're on the road all the time. You know, we're at a rally here, the Hoots rally. And from here, they're going to like 3 more rallies, I think.
Arizona, humidity, here we come.
And you know, Cordova is their installer. He not only does the Protang, but you're also installing
In and out on the go, tire minder, TPMS system. We're gonna start doing retro band mobily.
Oh, wow.
Which is a run flat system. We'll have a trailer. So basically, I will be jack of all trades.
But you know, normally they say jack of all trades, master of none, but I think you might be master of all of them.
I like that. I like that. I know it's got a nice ring to it.
Time for the engine, huh?
Time for the engine. What I'm doing now is, before we put it in, and with the tubing, we just want to flex it out, because when we curl it up and bring it, it gets all curled. So it's kind of maneuverable, but we want to make sure we're not getting curled while we're maneuvering through the frame rails and over the bell housing.
And obviously this is the main place we put the Protang.
Yes, sir. This will be the main place. And with the great thing about this install is that we're going to not only cover the engine, but we're going to cover the chassis batteries with this one too.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay. So
Well, hey guys, Cordova just finished the engine compartment. Yeah, and we're feeling safer already. I got Chuck here from National Indoor RV, and I want him to talk a little about all of these things that we're putting in, and they do this on the road at the rallies. I mean, here we are at the Hoots rally.
Hoots rally, that's right.
And I think it's so unique when you're at these rallies that you can get some major things done on your coach that can really keep you safe. And I want Chuck to talk about that, because it's so important. It's near and dear to our heart. We want everybody to be safe out there. So Chuck, run away with it.
Yeah, you know, we have found over the years that there are several things that we need to be proactive with when we talk about these home on wheels. Lots of moving parts, lots of things that happen while we're driving down the road, and a few things that we've really latched onto as National Indoor RV Centers are first, fires, coach fires. There's 20,000 RV related fires that happen every year. It's 55 a day, folks, 2 an hour, and we never think it's going to happen to us until it does.
And we just saw one this morning.
just saw one this
Unfortunately,
morning.
listed on Facebook, a horrible fire. The family is okay. They got out. but it was a day after they left the center of getting fixed, after they left the factory.
Yeah. So with things like that, we want to keep people safe. And so National Indoor has exclusive products that help to keep all of our friends out there that are driving down the roads a little bit safer, and in some cases a lot safer. So Protang is what we just had installed here on Tom and Stacy's coach, and we really believe that that is something that can give the occupants of any coach, any type of RV, a little bit more time. Sure, we have insurance, we have full coverage on the coach, but what happens when you're in the coach? There's a lot of flammable things that can happen in an RV, and we want to be able to give you and your loved ones that extra time. And that's really what Protang is designed to do, is to give you those extra precious few minutes to get your loved ones, get a grab bag with all those essential things, and get out of the coach. And then if the Protang does what it's supposed to do, and it's giving you that extra time, and it actually saves the coach, frosting on the cake as far as we're concerned.
For sure.
But we really want to make sure that we keep you all safe, and that's our primary function there.
Yeah, and what I think is really cool, again, you can go to NIRVC and have it done any of the locations.
Yep.
But you can also get it done on the road. So what kind of rallies and stuff are y'all at?
So we'll probably be at between 35 and 40 rallies during this year. We're going to the major, for sure, big ones, Newmar's international rallies, a lot of their regional rallies, FMCAs, their internationals, and some of their regional rallies. So the unique thing that you point out, Tom, is that we have everything we need to actually do these installations while we're at the rally. This is important because you're at the rally to have fun, to learn, to make new friends, that kind of stuff. You're not there to have work done on your coach.
Right.
Typically. I mean, maybe you get a wash or whatever else, but we can actually do all of this right from the road, which is nice.
That is, because it saves you time.
Yep,
I mean, you're out having fun. They're fixing your coach and making it safer.
Yeah.
And you don't have to take a special trip to NIRVC to have it done.
Wait for it to be done.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you have other products too, not just this that y'all sell on the road also.
That's right. So the other one that I think people have started to really hear about, learn about, fires are certainly a concern of ours, but also front end tire blowouts. Those are unfortunately more prevalent than anybody wants to care to think about, because we don't want to scare people into not RVing.
No.
We just want to make sure that you are equipped so that when something does happen, that you have the tools and that you're proactive in that. And so our product for that is a product called Retroband. It's a run flat system, and we like to think of it as a spare within that tire. And so as you're driving down the road, if you do encounter that front end tire blowout, and we've got videos at retroband.com where you can see it actually in action, where we've tested it at the Nevada test track. We've charged the front wheel, blew that tire out to see what kind of impact that would have on the driver, the loss of control, if any, and he didn't experience any, which was great. You know,
that's
maybe
awesome.
A little shift in the steering there, but really that's about it. We've had some actual real life customers now who have had tire blowouts and then been able to experience that really great control that they've been able to maintain while driving on the road, and that's really where it's at, because a lot of things can happen when you lose control of an RV, from a roll
Absolutely.
to all the damage that it could cause to the coach.
I call it serious peace of mind.
Yes.
I mean,
yes, that's
serious peace of mind, because you can have blowouts on the back. You can most of the time you're not going to roll from that. You can control the coach and get it off the road, but a front wheel blowout can be devastating. That's when you see, unfortunately, these videos of a Class A rolling down the highway, and with the Retroband, I think you have a much better shot at just keeping control. And you can go several miles if you have to get to a place to where you can pull off.
Very good point. We don't encourage you to keep driving on it. Our main focus, to your point, is just to safely get off to the side of the road. But if there's an exit a mile down the road and you keep that slow pace, we've had customers that have just been able to get right off that exit. without any damage to the rim, without any damage to the coach at all. So that's really what we're looking for, and customers that can just walk away from whatever incident that they
Yeah,
want.
so that's awesome. And they do have one other product on a safety thing that now that y'all are selling on the road as well,
Yeah.
the TPMS.
That's right. Yeah. So we're using a product that we offer on the road called Tire Minder. And again, going along with all those safety attributes, we really want to make sure that customers are taking, again, that proactive approach and making sure that you always know the amount of pressure that you're going by the weights of the coach, making sure you have the proper pressure inside those. But the other aspect of it is that heat element.
Yes.
And I think people forget about that.
That's right.
We're in areas of the country, hopefully, where there's not snow, but there's warmth, right?
Right.
And some of those areas, Arizona, a lot of those areas,
Your tires can get too hot.
exactly. And we want to keep an eye on those and make sure that they're maintaining the right temperature, the right pressure, so that everything.
Well, not just for your coach, but for your toad
Yes.
as well. So
Good
you
point.
can keep
Good point.
track of your toad, because we've had it happen before on our toad. You could have a flat tire in that toad and not even know it. These things just pull it right down the road. Before you know it, you could have a fire. Now, we didn't have a fire, but we were dragging our toad down the road when our tires locked going sideways. And I knew there was some issue going on, but I had no idea that that's what was going on. And luckily, we got away with it. But so, I mean, extremely important as well. And I want to let you know, though, that, you know, we had them put this in here. We paid for it.
You did.
We paid for the system. We believe in the system. This isn't something where it's a paid sponsorship from NIRVC. No, we bought the product. We believe in the product. And we believe in NIRVC.
Thank you. Thank you.
We really do.
Yeah.
So thank you,
You
Chuck.
bet. Thanks for giving us some time.
Yeah, and I mean, if you see him on the road,
Come see us.
come see him, and you know, I encourage you to look at these products and you know, put them in your coaches.
Yeah. Be proactive.
Be proactive.
Yep.